Stronger,
Imagine a world without choices.
stronger,
Imagine you can't make your own decision. That wouldn't be a world for me. That wouldn't be a world for you. You, I see.
Tell them we're gonna be stronger. Together we can make it right. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. Gonna be stronger together. Time we all just unify. Our purpose is a better Jamaica for you and I. It is a natural right for every human being to be free. Free, so free. So the government is there to protect you and me. UIC objective is to liberate the citizens from colonial bondage, them regulation, them tax.
UIC Liberty TV. Change you can trust.
There's no audio. Oh my goodness. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? We didn't seem to have audio a while ago. Sorry about that. Let me know if you can hear me now. So welcome everyone. Thanks for being here. Sorry we had some audio problems a while ago. And we seem to have lost Young Garvey as well. He was on the platform a minute ago, but we lost him almost as soon as we went on. I'm not sure why. But tonight we're going to be talking about breaking the chains. As you know, our people have been in chains for literally the last 500 years or so. You know, we've spent some time in shackles, physical shackles, and we have spent the last couple of years in mental shackles, and we've also been suffering from economic shackles, various forms. Today you see children going to school carrying bags that says they're dunce. You see people being proud of being fully dunce. Being dunce is fashionable. Our music has taken a turn from being culturally uplifting, reflecting our desire for freedom or desire to escape colonialism or desire to take charge of our own future, to one which is more derogatory, demeaning, and mentally destructive, which in a way is really a reflection of our societal norms. Jamaica is becoming more and more of a scary place in which to live in terms of the mental conditions of our people, the mental conditions of our leaders, the utterances that they make, the kind of mannerism that they display, the blatant disregard for reasonable thinking human beings that they continue to show, the kind of policies that they implement. So yeah, we're in some serious troubles. Welcome, VP Powell. Good to see you on. Welcome, Carol Spence. Ricky Ricks says Mark Golding is an embarrassment. The truth is, all of our political leaders are an embarrassment. If you think about what they have done with Jamaica over the time that they have been in office, if you look at the history of Jamaica, if you look at the trajectory of our development as a people, if you look at where we're coming from and where we are now, and to what extent they have elevated us as a people, it's quite embarrassing. What is clear, though, is the resilience of our people, how some of us continue to fight against the odd, to keep our head above water, to keep our come on. This always seems to happen, eh? But while we're waiting for him, let me take any questions that you may have or anything you want to talk about. Just raise a topic and I will talk about it. Whatever it is in the chat area. We seem to be having some serious problems here with the connection. All right. So while I'm waiting for you to think of what you want to talk about, while I'm waiting also for Young Garvey to come back on, I want you to see something here from a little clip about how the music industry is I don't like to say shaping our culture because it's not really shaping our culture. What's going on is that um, what's really happening is that our culture is shaping our music. Do you agree? Nalda says Andrew Holness is evil, and Janet Graham says, "Good evening, Mr. Patterson. Are we ready for the next election nationwide?" All right, so I am. We are getting ready, Miss Graham. We're not where we want to be. You know, it requires a lot of money to be where we need to be, and unfortunately, while many of you have been giving, not enough have been giving yet. We over the last year we have gotten about 371 donations online, plus others. We've had donations that are made through other portals, other means. But our online donation is the biggest source of donations and the most easy to give you numbers on off the top of my head because I see it regularly. So we've had about 371 donations up to about day before yesterday or so. And that's a total of some 21,000 or so Canadian dollars equivalent because that's the denomination for that portal. And then we've had probably close to that amount outside of the online portal. So if you add that up, it's probably somewhere in the region now of about 4 to 5 million Jamaican dollars. And that's not nearly enough for us to be able to have the kind of resources that we need to have. But we do have some very good candidates. We have a strong candidate in Westmoreland, Mr. Winston Wright. We have a strong candidate in St. Mary, Mr. Chase Neal. We have a strong candidate in St. Andrew. Well, a number of candidates in St. Andrew, but MP candidates, we have Dr. Coretta Brown Johnson. In St. Elizabeth, Northeast, we have myself. In Central Kingston, we have Mr. Barnett. On the councillor side, we have people like Sheldon McGann in East Rural St. Andrew. We have Mr. Harper as well, and others. So we're building gradually, but we're not at the numbers we want to be yet because it does require a bit more resource that we just don't have yet. So we need more people to donate. All we ask is for 1,000 persons to give $25 a month, and that would be very, very helpful. All right. It look like Mr. Young Garvey is getting on again. Mr. Garvey, can you hear me? I see you trying to connect in the background there. For the truthers, do you have any candidate for West Kingston? No, we don't have any candidate yet for West Kingston. So if you have anyone in mind, please, tell them to step forward. We love to get our candidates coming out of the community, somebody that lives there, work there, have business there, to step forward and represent your people. So you're a part of the experience, that you're representing. North Manchester. Oh, we have Mr. Crawford in Northeast Manchester. Vincenzo Crawford in East Manchester. Ms. Powell says readiness is based on donations and persons coming on board to help strengthen the movement. That's correct. So the more we the people, UIC is our party, is we the people party, remember, eh? So it's what we do that will determine how we do. So if we the people don't rise up and take it, then it won't happen. But if we do, it will. I see Mr. Young Garvey is in the house. Let me see if I can bring him in now. Welcome back, Mr. Young Garvey.
Open active.
You lost connection there.
No weapon formed against this meeting shall prosper.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so we're just taking a few quick comments on the sidebar here. Do you think the local government elections is being delayed to prevent the UIC from getting more publicity before the general election? All of that, Kemar, they're very tricky. So they'll do anything to prevent that. You might recall when the UIC was gaining a lot more traction, they kind of, delayed 2 sets of elections and sowed some bad seed inside of the organization to create distraction. So they've been working very hard to undermine us, but we need to work harder to overcome, and that's where you and I come in. If we make our contribution in terms of time, talent, and treasure, we can make it happen. Yeah, but welcome, Mr. Young Garvey. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Blessing, praise. Give thanks to life, Hopeful.
Excellent. Hopeful. Wonderful. So tonight we're going to talk about what we didn't get to talk about the last time. Our topic back then was reggae and revolution, because we wanted to kind of look at the connection between the music and the revolution. Tonight I've rephrased it to say breaking the chains, because a revolution really is about breaking the chains. It's breaking the chains with the past, and Jamaica has been in chain for a very, 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 very long time, to the point where people kind of feel like they're free right now in some minds and don't realize that they're in chains. How do you feel about that? Do you think we're a free people?
No, mentally, not at all. Seeing, and the physical people them feel like them free because things and time change from past. You have choices where you can change the government if you choose, but the mentality that them others are people, them not push out for changes. So them just deal with anything the system bring forth. Seeing.
So, for example, they feel like they can vote for change, but what are they voting for really? They're voting for the change that is put in front of them. So if a person come to you and say, Mr. Garvey, you're a free man, you can make any choice you want, but I am going to decide the choices you have. I'm going to give you this pencil or that pencil. You can choose between them. Do you really have a choice?
No.
No, because of them, they prescribe and say this is the choice you have. So
One or the other.
If you had a choice, they wouldn't put any pencil in front of you. They would say you choose what you want to do, and you now could go and find any different number of options you want to choose from. That's all. But the way our political system works is that they have tricked us by giving us 2 options that they control. They control the one on the right and they control the one on the left. They control the one with this color and the one with that color. And then they say, this is your choice. Now, I want to get into the music, Mr. Garvey, because you're a musician by trade, by profession. So tell me a little bit about why you think that we need to pay close attention to the music that we're listening to and that we're developing as a people and that we are disseminating among our people and our children. Do you have any concern between what you see in music today and what we need to do going forward where that is concerned?
Well, me have a lot of concern in a big bro because music is the blueprint, see? And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to know the mind of the youth, them and the mind of Jamaica, you listen to dancehall music and it will tell you exactly how people is, you know. So Redemption song when Bob Marley sing for Zimbabwe, when Nelson Mandela was locked up, on Free, Free Mandela, all of these songs help to even free Nelson Mandela. And Winnie said it. Winnie said it. Seeing Winnie Mandela said, she give thanks to Jamaica. As the songs them that we sung in these times, that kept him the fight going and kept nobody giving up on him and said, after 25 to 32 years, come home and still be the president. You know, so music is
So
important. Very, very.
the music inspired the people. So basically, the music of the day kind of reflected the mood of the people then, eh? So the people
Definitely
wanted
is.
to free Mandela, and those who are in the music industry, they wrote songs and sung songs that promoted that
1 second.
action, yeah,
One
which
second.
which further stirred the people and so on. But if you look at it carefully, the songs that were being sung were really reflecting the sentiments of the people and serve to, encourage the people to take action and to push for action in that way. But what is the songs that we're singing today pushing? And so my question is, isn't the song really a reflection of the mental state of the people? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does the music come first, or the experience of the people come first, and then it's reflected in their music?
Actually, the music fought
Mm,
first. So the music is how they live and tell them how to live and what to drink and what to wear
mm,
and what type of person to be.
mm,
So if you have a music where you tell everybody to be a bad man,
mm.
everybody say them a chop the line, disrespecting the females them, I said the youth them I gotta deal with. Cause the music where them listen to every day, them bring back out upon you.
But why
See?
would those musics come about? Why would a person sing about chopping the line? Isn't it because people
Hold on,
are
man.
chopping the line? I wonder if you understand what I'm saying, people online here. I am thinking that the music is really a reflection of the denigration of the thinking of the people. The mindset of the
Looking
people is
nice.
being reflected in the music. You're back with me?
Yeah, I was getting a looking nice and you want to tell the kids outside for
Yeah, no
kind
worry,
of
man.
thing.
It's not affecting us. We
All
can
right,
hear you
cool.
clearly.
Yeah, man.
So my thinking, Mr. Garvey, is that the music is really reflecting what is happening in the belly of the society. So, for example, when a boy sit down and say, "I'm going to cut a tune," what is he making that tune based off? You'll have a person like yourself who is a conscious thinker, and you want to give us elevating music. But another singer now, him a look from where going in I'm community every day, what's really happening and what him see around him. Him see people.
Why don't you guys listen, bro? Stop pushing for a second, yeah? You there?
Yeah, it look like we're having.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's on my side. I think you lost me on my side here, the
Yeah,
connection.
it kind of freeze up. But yeah, back to the music. The music, the state of the mind, the state of the country. Music is can tell you the blueprint. But the thing is, the music is being used now as a tool, as a weapon. So Babylon weaponize our music because I figure out when Bob Marley rise up, the great Bob, them didn't really know how powerful this music is and that it can change a nation, change people. See? So when them figure out the power that was in music now, Bob passed away, all the great people passed away. So when you want to mislead the nation, mislead the youth them, you give them negative music. And if
Yeah.
them don't realize that the more negative music get is the more chaotic Jamaica becomes. Because if you have a song man talk about from a 16 him a murder people and him is this and him is that. And a lot of these dudes just sing these songs, them end up being burned. See,
Yeah.
my father's son right now, him locked up for murder at 16. And my father they have a song say, at the age of 16, wasn't a 16. I know your kid is locked up at 16. Saying 25
Right.
to life. Cartel, gone. Ninja Man, gone. See? So it's
Yeah.
like everybody, it's a system like this, Them use it for mislead the youths them, and then they self-destruct. Dancehall is like a self-destruct thing. Because after you mislead millions, most of the time you go down. Most of the artists them can't come back to Jamaica. Them can't go over there, so them can't go over there, so because when you start welcome that negative energy, you're going to keep negative people around you. See? So you have everybody in a party, so people are bad man and music. It's like, I was trying to show people this example to you, When Sizzler bust in the 90s, I was in New York, seeing, and New York now, you get to see all Caribbean people, one place, seeing, and that one man Sizzler brought a new wave of Rasta, new wave of people. Everybody start wear bead and everybody start ras up and start ice the king, hail the king, and pre-conscious. So if you know a music can do that to a nation, why? That's why the radio people, them have a lot to blame. And the producers have a lot to blame with the state of Jamaica. Because if you know how detrimental certain music is for your use and other use, why would you put it at the forefront? See, if you have 20 negative artists, boss, you have 20 set of different negative people, you just pay corruption that, bro. And it's not even balanced, we say. It's 10 positive artists, yeah. It's 10 negative art. Like them stuck on negative. And it hurtful to me, because me know what I do to the youths them. And then me was once a younger youth too. And music misled me before. Music used to do things where some now is that guess me, I guess. You know that's music. Alright, let me tell you how powerful music is. You will feel down, feel depressed, and you can't hear certain songs that will uplift you. And then when you see them talking, you will feel down and depressed, and you will hear a song that tell you to kill yourself if you're dead. So it controls your emotions. So it's me, like me, I consider this when me record a song, I'm gonna put on my headphone and say, go and sing. Me not just sing the song like me, I counteract the evils when me see a road. Like me not just sing. Me I do it for a purpose, like it's needed, bro. Sing. Yeah, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, can you know?
Yeah. Where did you get the name Young Garvey from?
Alright, going back to conscious things. Growing up, even when I was a youth, right? Grew up around Rasta, we grew up around people listen a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of Peter Touch and Jacob Miller and all these people. My elders around me listen to, so me grew up with that conscious back to African revolution. That spirit was always in I. But growing up now, you're a youth and you start mingle with the streets and get in trouble. But at the same time, I used to always burn out certain things. Like, say, dog, me in America, I say, how come liquor stores on every corner? And how come them stock we up in projects so them can saturate and put all of the drugs, all of the weapon in a one area. So having that meditation, a friend jokefully said to me, "Yeah, go on like a Marcus Garvey." And the next person, "Yeah, man, a young Garvey that." So me have the name since about 17, 18, and I didn't even know how influential and how great Marcus Garvey was even when I got the name, Young Garvey. You know, as a youth in America now, I could have tell him say Marcus Garvey is the first national hero. But the history that should be taught is not taught in school. So we now go know how powerful this man is. It's actually America I go and find out how powerful Garvey is. And that he's like one of the most influential black man on the face of the earth that lives. And a lot of these great Malcolm X is a Garveyite. Gaddafi, like a lot of people were even made changes is coming from his blueprint. Farrakhan, you name it, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And on. So single-handedly, Marcus Garvey started the revolution. And in the time when Garvey did it, there was no internet, there was no viral, and Garvey went viral. See? Garvey had newspapers shipping out to about 30 different countries in those times, teaching black people, black self, black love. And even being in Harlem, where Garvey movement, when we hear the people, black Americans talk about them, Garvey gave them a sense of pride, a sense of we're somebody. Don't be the freedom, but you're great. Educate yourself. You know, it's like, I love Marcus Garvey, but you know.
What led you into the music as your way of expressing that love for Garvey?
All right, you there?
All
Yeah, you
right.
can hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
cut
back
off there a
with you
second.
now. Yeah, I chip out for a second there. Not sure why.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me now about the music. What led you into the music
All
industry?
right, I'm born in a music. Like, I know I was born for this, but my auntie, which is Shirley Willis from the Grace Shillers, she's like the Bob Marley of the gospel world. Can't even walk. All of these great songs were sung by my auntie. The house I'm in now, this is where she grew up. You know, my grandfather's a preacher on my mother's side. My grandfather's a preacher on my father's side. So growing up with that are the Grace Shillers nephew there. So in church, they taught me how to play drums. And the first thing I see with the drums, I said, I want to learn to play drums. And me being the pastor, grand pick me. I'm going to teach him play the drums and thing. And being out of the Grace Shillers bloodline now, people always wanted me and my sister to sing. So I actually started singing in church from a young age, about 8, 9, 10. Straight up until, you get growing now and you feel like you can't afford to go to church, go on. But I always did music from my youth coming up.
Wow. And
Phrase up. Check, check. You can hear me? Okay. So this is line. Mr. Patterson, man, I'm not hearing you now. I think you froze up, freeze up. Wonder if I should come out there and come back. Okay, okay. Good. Not hearing you.
How is it? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're having some bad internet connection here, man.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you were saying I didn't hear your answer. Did you speak to that question?
Yeah, repeat the question again.
Yeah, I was asking about the how is reggae versus dancehall competing? Who is winning the war?
Um, evil. Evil and win right now.
Unfortunately.
Seeing and is the importance of music that they don't know. Music is not just music, yo. Music is spiritual. That's why Bob Marley saying people say the message is in the music because it can be negative, it can be positive, but there's a message in it. Seeing?
Mm,
So when you have to use them now, up with evil, it's just it hurtful and why I feel this way is because I always tell the artists them now. You get millions, seeing, for mislead millions. You get millions, but you mislead billions probably. Like, oh, you sleep at night time within your big house, knowing that the words them that you say and the things them that you talk about, kids are doing. Like that, nobody ever end. You don't feel like you're responsible for a lot of dead man, a lot of dead woman. You don't feel like say you just as guilty as the man who shoot somebody if you listen to your music and do that. Saying so me kind of take it serious, me take it to my heart because I see the nation and I see the youth them and them now all the meditation. Alright, remember when Carter was out and Carter saying he's not nobody role model and picnic for being a role model. But at the same time, Carter sung a song and say, tuck in your pants and tie it up way and when Carter sang that song, all the school youth them tuck in them pants and start brush them ear and you start to see them look neat. So if you so powerful that you can make the whole Jamaican school picnic, pull up them pants and wear them school clothes on a neat level. Like that's a lot of power, man. Freeze up again, Mr. Patterson. Internet, man. Internet not acting good. I wonder if I should leave the interview. Yeah, Mr. Patterson. Bless. It freeze up, right? Alright, since you're here and sing, I play some music to call it Mr. Patterson. When I said this, hope seems. I don't know. want them to come off and yeah.
The bigger it up, that the hardest part in life is just knowing yourself. Can't be no one else, no, no, no. Just focus on your dreams, cause that's your wealth. In time, you'll find that there's no one to stop you. Fight with the sunshine in the spring. Someone's shine. Go, go,
Hi guys, can you hear me? I was disconnected for a while there. Let me know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me? Anyone? Can you see me? Can you hear me? This internet thing here is a pain. Yes, we can. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you, cool guy, for the update. Let me see if Young Garvey here.
Again, back again.
Okay, here we are.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, they're trying to hold us down here. All right, so where were we? We're talking about the competition between good and evil, between reggae and but dancehall is all dancehall negative or only some or most?
Modern,
Can you hear
the
me?
modern dancer is negative. The dancer
Hmm.
from back and but not to the point of, of, of this is negative, man. Them say it's not dancer. Them try to make your mother serious. You're supposed to be happy. Cause the heights being the man. Let me see them artists, you know, them, one of them. Cause when you watch them perform, like Peter, one of them big players, you don't see the front crowd go red. And I like when one are you just say no, called Shaggy, Sean Paul. Seeing Mr. Shaggy.
Yeah, connection is poor, very poor, very, very poor. Look like we may have lost him again, people. When it's not me, it's him. You know, you either lose him or you lose me, or you lose us both. But the internet is not cooperating very well at all. Let's hope he'll be back with us shortly. I wanted to play something for you. If you can hear me, I wanted to play something for you. I'll see if I can play it until he gets back on. It's just a video speaking to the issue somewhat.
Violent videos
Them coulda run in the church.
wrong and
Them
violent videos
coulda run in the church.
wrong and gun sound.
It a fire military standard.
Scary stuff.
Gunman party, thugs and Barbie, guns and cartridge.
But hold on, we've heard this tune already.
You think a little gun, bad boy sit down, pan. Come on, bad men, wicked men, not take man fit toy. Me a make lucky na me and more kill and destroy. Gunman the rich, you call it gunman the rich and that man.
So what's changed now since then?
I remember when I'm a youth and I come up back in our days. When I say you never have bad man, when I say you never have gang, when I say you never have gun, but what we are saying is that them man then at them time there, if I'm me and them a war, them wait till them see me. Them youth and nowadays, them a go for your mother, them a go for your brother, them a go for your sister. Even back then, there was a sort of refuge where no care man a look for you if you do you something. At the time, you're good guy, him afraid, him not hide. A middle lady, a young man, I come for you nowadays.
The people that is singing now is not looking at the things that are happening around them.
But they are looking at the things that are happening around them, and it's garrisons and guns and murder.
A murder rate that gets higher.
Murder we deal with. Murder me think that.
When I come out in the 70s and my first word is if you're coming from war in a bus or a car, make love and not war. Because we are the Vikings, the Pigeon Gang, the Spanglers. Oh, come on. Gang from Trenchtown, Baka Wall, Southside, Tel Aviv, Dunkirk. We have Warwick Hill. Everybody is the same thing that gets out of hand. We have a set of youth that them have no respect for life. Life was not better rose back then, like how it's not now.
Is it worse now?
Yeah, it's out of hand. When you tell a man, when you sing about the type of guns and the type of way that you handle and the type of way that you murder.
Any head we boss can't refix.
Music is so powerful that the youngest of mind, they catch on to it quicker than going into school and education. At the hospital, them go, something happen to someone, is every second of it.
A recent Don Anderson poll highlighting crime and violence as Jamaica's most glaring post-independence failure. A second making a link between music messaging and rampant criminality.
Honestly, maybe there might be a little tenuous connection to how people are encouraged to be a certain kind of individual. That is what I would say, because it is something that is seen as an important part of being a strong man with power.
But cultural studies professor Donna Hope herself questioning Don Anderson's choice of questions about dancehall's impact on violent crime.
Usually now I ask to see the poll question and how it was framed. So that question was set in a very specific way to get positive responses to the question. To what extent do you think that dancehall music contributes to crime in Jamaica? So once you ask people to what extent, you are saying to them, dancehall music contributes to crime in Jamaica. Tell me how much you think it does.
So what is the question you would ask?
I would ask, do you think that dancehall contributes to crime? If you answer yes, you go down to this question. If you answer no, you go to another question. That way, people would have a chance to respond. And then my 5 responses would be set in the way that researchers do. 2 of them leaning to a yes, 1 in the middle as neutral, 2 leaning towards a no. That is how you do it, so that people are able to think it through themselves. Because remember, Anthony, the question you asked, there are so many people who actually support this music. Where were they in this poll?
Crime waves often followed by blame falling on politicians and dancehall.
I think that music, bad music, evil music, music that encourages violence, all of that is just a symptom. It's not the problem. Of course, it is seen as the problem because it's an easy connection. You hear people saying bad things and you say the bad things influence bad behavior in others. But I strongly believe that our music and the music of any country is always a reflection of the culture of that country. It's the culture that is developed in that country. And if you have a culture of corruption from the top down, if you have a culture of garrison politics, if you have a culture of an education system which does not work, which does not lead to an economic system that works, where you can't follow a path of being a good boy, being a good girl, going to school, studying your book, and then coming out of school and being able to get a decent job and be a decent, upstanding citizen that is respected by your peers and by the children coming up, and making something of yourself through a normal pattern like that. If you don't have that because your system is failing, then the music is going to reflect that. The music is going to reflect the fact that you fail 70% of your students every year. The music is going to reflect the fact that most young people don't have any hope of being able to make something of themselves through the normal course of going to school, studying your book, and getting a job. They're going to turn to something else, and that something else becomes the ugly outcomes that we see. And those who are going to make money from music are going to trend towards the things that will appeal to the kind of mindset and mentality that has been created by the normal system. Today, when children go to school, what are they taken up with? We're having a lot of problems with hairstyle, dress code, people wearing guard rings to school. The focus is no longer what it used to be. When it used to be that the focus is your academics and learning so you can get good grades, so you can get a good job and carry on. That is not what you have today. School no longer is the path to wealth and prosperity in the minds of the people. School is almost a waste of time to many of the students. You also have the case where, because of the nature of the economy, it takes 2 parents working extraneous hours just to make ends meet. So you're lacking now in parental care in many homes. And then you have the television and everything playing, of course. And again, they are not the problem. They are just now the symptom. They help to facilitate the denigration of our society. Now, you can tell me I'm wrong, but I think if you look at the data very closely, you're going to see that the music always follows the culture in any country. You're going to have, if you have a country where the leaders are decent and effective, and as a result create a stable environment where people feel as if the systems work, the institutions work, the structure of the country is working to their benefit, then you're going to have a different set of people with a different set of ideals, a different set of behavior. Their language will be different, their behaviors will be different. And as a result, you'll see that coming out in the songs and the music. There's a time when love song was more popular than anything else. I mean, love song, you're talking about, boy meet girl, man, meet woman. And they're talking about, you also see many of the love song talks about Um, you know, many of the love songs talk about. I'm getting a feedback. I'm getting a feedback on Garvey's end when I'm speaking. If you listen to love songs, many of them over the years, most of them talk about a breakup. You know, somebody is sorry that they were left by somebody, or a guy is trying to get a girl and she's hard to get, or vice versa. You don't find a lot of it across the world going into back in the day into killing and shooting, but over time it gets into that because as the culture changes, the music changes with the culture. So if Jamaica has a very dark underculture, that's what's going to come out. Because when a young man like Young Garvey sit down and say, I'm going to cut a tune, he has to contend with the culture he sees daily. Is he going to write a song against that culture and say, no, man, we shouldn't want to kill each other and destroy each other. We shouldn't want to say dance is good. Or is he going to join in with what the people, the majority of the people, want to hear? And who are the majority? And I'm going to bring him back in now. If every day the student at school is hearing from his peers among him or her that school is a waste of time, that look at Miss Jane and look at Mr. Joe and look at Mr. Brown, my big education, and look at my suffer. Him can't even buy a full cart of grocery and whatever. If the conversation in the classroom is that this is a waste of time, we're not going to get anywhere with this, then the culture is to shift to somewhere else. Now, where do they see success? They see success in the chopping. They see success in donmanship. They see success in dressing a certain way and carrying on a certain way, which might not be what you and I want to see. But they see that as being more, in sync, acceptable to their peers. And so that becomes the culture. And if your school system each year fails 70% of those who graduate, meaning for every 100 sets of students that leaves our school system, every 100 set, 70 out of 100, 7 out of 10 are not leaving with the skills to read and write effectively, to communicate effectively. They don't have the skills to analyze properly, to reason properly. They're going to be sitting ducks for the kind of things that we don't want to see in our society because they are not being educated sufficiently. So where does this come from? What's feeding all of this? Your government that controls your education system. The government impacts the kind of graduates you have coming out of our school every year. If you have a school system where as soon as a teacher graduates from teachers college, they spend 1 year in the classroom, 2 years in the classroom, and start to look to go abroad. By the time they gain little experience, they're gone. So every year, you're having new teachers coming in, many of them inexperienced, many of them coming out of the recent cohort of graduates from the school system itself. Let's think it through for a second. If you look at our examination today, if you were born recently and you were taking CXC today, you would stand a much greater chance of passing than you would have 30 years ago. Why is that? The standards have been severely watered down. Your final grade now is based on a combination of things which may not demonstrate your true competences. You may have been able to copy and paste and whatever, and your final grade now is not really a true reflection of your understanding of the subject matter. It's not really a true reflection of you getting the content, you being able to fully understand, explain, and apply what you have learned. But you graduate with a 1 or a 2, a distinction or a credit, as they say. Back in the day, a 3 was a failure. Today, a 3 is a pass. So you have many students who even graduate with the qualifications, meaning they have passed the threshold. They have the 5 subject or the 6 subject or the 7 subjects. But the quality of pass, the depth of their understanding is severely limited. And so while they have passed the exam, they're not really as competent as you think they should be. The same thing is happening in colleges and universities. The programs are watered down. So today, a person might be able to get into university and complete the degree, but they're no match for somebody who would have done the same thing, say 30 years ago. Because if they were born 30 years earlier and sat the then exams, they would have failed. But today we're graduating them and saying you have passed. So you have people coming out of school with credentials, but not competence. All of that affects the culture in your country. A country that has very high standards, that has carefully developed educational systems, that has a governance model where politicians are of the highest quality, and the governance of the country is being managed by persons who are qualified and competent to do the work in question, that country's culture is going to be very different. And their music is going to be very different. It's going to be more elevating. The culture is going to be more decent, more orderly, more responsible. It's going to create a more safer environment. The country itself will be cleaner. Just the cleanliness of a country tells you about the government. If it's a dirty country, it's really telling you have a dirty government. And that affects the mindset of the people as well. If the governance is cumbersome, so your life is very difficult, you're being sent all over the place to get one simple transaction done. You waste half the day trying to do a basic transaction, a whole day wasted trying to do a basic transaction. All of those things reflects on the country's capacity and seeps into its culture and then is reflected in the music. Welcome back, Mr. Garvey. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay, we have 3 minutes to go. I'll give it to you.
Same.
Yes.
No question?
Well, I've been chatting while you're away, so I don't know how much of it you heard. But I was just explaining you that music is really a symptom of the problem. It is a painful reality that yes, the bad music influenced the young people, no doubt about it. But the music itself is a symptom of a problem which is then reflected in the music. And then it creates a vicious cycle of impacting the young people. But even if you were young Garvey, even if you were to block the music, let's say you ban all bad music. Your band said, ban it, we don't want to hear any of it. I can guarantee you that it will simply go underground and will be listened to underground even more than before.
Watch this.
Yeah. Yes.
Say the word ban, right?
Yes.
Say for instance, this can happen. Them can't stream it, them can't buy it, so them can't get it. Just for instance, them can't. So them have to listen to other meditation. I think if that can happen today, then 20 years down the line, we're going to have a better set of youths group.
Yeah, I disagree. Even though I understand where you're coming from, and it sounds logical and it sounds sensible. What you're saying makes perfect sense, except the reality of mankind. The moment you ban it is the moment it becomes super popular, more than it is before. And they're going to find every way possible now to get on the dark web. You're even going to have people selling it underground, and know you're going to make money. The people who create the bad music, I know they're going to make money because now you can kind of get it easily, right? Now, because to ban it, you'd have more people who are selling it undercover, and you're gonna have all kind of underground activities to try now to sell it here and there. So they'll become much richer than even the guys who are doing good music, because
But
that's
we
the
say,
nature. Yeah.
would that save more life? Because why I say it, I'm there on it, I live in it. So it's like me dead in the system, me dead in it. I go every garrison, I go every ghetto, I sing everywhere. And every part of Jamaica I go. The youths them is like the same. Them dress the same, them look the same, talk the same, and them don't come from the same place. Because them listen to the same. So it really, really deep. Saying
I know, yeah, it's affecting them. The music is affecting them. But what I like to do, I like to go to the source of the problem. The source of why would a person get up and choose to sing gun music and to shoot man and to do, why would anybody get up and want to do that? Now we're out of time because it's 1:01. It's a minute after the hour now, so I have to wrap up because I have another meeting. But let's come back and talk about it. But everybody, think about it. What is the real source? The music is bad, it is unhealthy, but it is not the problem. The problem is somewhere else. And if we don't fix the somewhere else, and you just block off this, that problem will express itself in another way, in another area, which might even be worse. Yes.
It's not gonna be as dark. And if you fix somewhere else and them listen to your music, nothing gonna change.
Yes. All right. So thank you very much for being here. Have a good one next time. All the best. Yeah, man. Sorry we didn't have more time. The system was not, behaving itself right. But we shall talk some more about this. And remember, one Jamaica, we're stronger together. Have a good night. Oh, by the way, I must tell you quick. Please make sure that you join us on September 22nd in Halfway Tree at Mandela Park. We shall be here to tell them time up. And right now it's time up for me because I have to go. But have a good night. All the best.